Hello students, in today's class we'll start with the next module, that is pneumatic power systems. So in the previous first three modules you studied mainly related to hydraulic power systems. So now module 4 and module 5 you'll learn about pneumatic power systems. So in today's class you'll just study about what is the working medium, how to choose the working medium for your fluid power system, and the basic structure of pneumatic power system. First we'll start with the introduction to pneumatic systems. So pneumatic systems are similar to the one which you have already studied, that is hydraulic power systems. So instead of using hydraulic oil to transmit motion, pneumatic systems uses pressurized air or gas to transmit motion. And these pneumatic systems also work on the similar principle as that of hydraulic systems, that is on Pascal's law. So most of the components in case of pneumatic systems have similar constructional features, and principle of pneumatic systems is similar to that of hydraulic systems. So most of the constructional features, construction of pneumatic systems, and the principle of working of pneumatic systems is similar to that of hydraulic systems. So only main differences, pneumatic systems use pressurized air or gas to transmit motion, whereas hydraulic systems use hydraulic fluid in order to transmit motion. Now let's move on to the definition of a pneumatic system. A system that uses compressed air to transmit the energy from one point to another point so that mechanical work is achieved. So pneumatic systems uses compressed air in order to transmit the energy from one point to another point so that whatever the mechanical work so it has to intend to do will be achieved. So working medium, as I have already said to you, so hydraulic systems use incompressible oil, whereas pneumatic systems use compressed air. Do remember the main difference between hydraulic systems and pneumatic systems. So hydraulic systems use incompressible oil to transmit motion from one point to other point, whereas pneumatic systems use compressed air to transmit the energy from one point to another point. Now let's move on to choice of working medium. Before moving on to studying what is the basic structure of pneumatic systems, so we have already studied now hydraulic systems. So before studying about pneumatic systems, you should know how to make the choice of working medium and which system to use if you use that medium. So you have to remember all these 4 points. So when a system needs higher speeds, medium pressure and less accuracy, so high speed, medium pressure and less accuracy, a pneumatic system is used. So if you require a high pressure and high accuracy system to perform a function, a fluid system is used. So for high speed, medium pressure and less accuracy, if this is the necessity, a pneumatic system is preferred, whereas for high pressure and higher accuracy, a fluid hydraulic system is preferred. So next, with respect to power requirements, if a power requirement is very high, like in case of power press, so hydraulic systems are used. If the power requirement is less, so pneumatic systems can be used. So for higher power requirements, so oil hydraulics, that is hydraulic systems are used. So next, related to location of a system. So location of system also plays a role in selecting the working medium. For location with severe temperature variations, so oil hydraulic system will do better, where an air system may lead to severe condensation problems. So if for a location, if there is severe temperature variations in a hydraulic system or in a power system, so in a power system, if the temperature variations is much, so oil hydraulic system is used. If air hydraulic system, that is pneumatic system, if it is used, so it may cause severe condensation problems. So another issue is related to fire or electric hazards. Okay. So air being non-explosive in nature, so it is preferred where fire and electric hazards are expected. So wherever pneumatic systems are used, where there are higher chances of having fire and electric hazards. So since air being a non-explosive in nature, so pneumatic systems are more preferred. Whereas oil systems are more prone to these fire and electrical hazards. So these are not recommended in such areas. So these are the 4 points which you have to remember for the choice of working medium. Okay. For high speed, medium pressure, less accuracy, you use pneumatic system, and for higher accuracy and higher pressure, you use fluid system. Power requirements, if it is high, you use hydraulic systems. If it is low, you use pneumatic systems. So if in case of in the location where the temperature variations are more, you use hydraulic systems, and if you use pneumatic systems, they may cause severe condensation problems. And lastly, it is related to fire and electrical hazards. Wherever there is fire and electrical hazards, so since air being non-explosive in nature, so pneumatic systems are preferred over hydraulic systems. So now we'll move on to the basic structure of pneumatic systems. So before moving on to the working of the basic structure of pneumatic system, we'll see what are the basic components or basic elements which are present in the pneumatic system. So these are the basic elements which are present in pneumatic systems, that is a filter, a compressor, electric motor, primary air treatment. So in primary air treatment there are again two, one is a cooler, other is a dryer, a pressure relief valve, a storage reservoir to store the compressed air, then a secondary air treatment. In case of secondary air treatment, you have another three: filter, regulator and lubricator, we call it as FRL unit, then a direction control valve and an actuator. Okay, So these are the basic elements of a basic pneumatic system. So in the next slide, we will see the working of this basic structure of pneumatic system. Now we'll look into the working of basic structure of pneumatic systems. See, all the working points are been given to you here. So let me go through all these one by one. So in this pneumatic systems, an electric motor drives the compressor. So hence the compressor creates the suction pressure and draws the atmospheric air via filter. So these filter in turn arrest the suspended particles which are present in the air, such as dirt, dust, allows only the clean air to enter into the compressor. The compressor compresses the air from the atmospheric pressure to a higher pressure depending on whatever the capacity of compressor. So next, this air, compressed air, passes through the primary air treatment. So the air gets heated up due to compression. So hence this air, hot compressed air, is passed through the air treatment unit where the hot air is cooled and any moisture content whichever is present in the air, so that is condensed by the dryer. So this is the primary air treatment. So in case of primary air treatment, so whatever the hot air, hot compressed air coming out from the compressor is cooled by the cooler, and any moisture content present in the air is condensed in the dryer. So this high pressure air which is treated in the primary air treatment is then stored in the storage reservoir while passing through the pressure relief valve. So once the designed pressure is attained by the air in the reservoir, then the pressure relief valve diverts the air to the atmosphere. So the desired pressure is being sensed by the pressure sensor which is being mounted on the storage receiver or storage reservoir, and at maximum designed pressure of the receiver, what this pressure sensor does is puts off the motor and the compressor, both motor and the compressor, to ensure safety at maximum pressure. So this high pressure air which is coming from the storage reservoir is used to run the actuator with the help of different control valves, either direction control valve, flow control valve, or pressure control valve. So before the air moves into the control valves to actuate the actuator, it is passed through the FRL unit, that is filter, regulator and lubricator, for further conditioning of air, that is for secondary air treatment. So this is the basic working of pneumatic system. So here you are seeing one more basic structure of pneumatic system. So what a motor does, it runs the compressor. Compressor in turn draws the atmospheric air through the filter. A filter cleans the atmospheric air, and a compressor compresses the air, and this compressed air will pass through a primary air treatment, that is, it is cooled, and then separator, it condenses if any moisture is present in the air. Then this high pressure air is stored in the storage receiver or storage reservoir. On this storage receiver or storage reservoir, a pressure sensor is mounted which senses the maximum pressure. If a maximum pressure is reached, this pressure sensor senses that and in turn puts the compressor and motor off in order to ensure safety. So this high pressure air is passed through the control valves, direction control valves, flow control valves, or either pressure control valves, and then to the actuator. So before this goes to the direction control valves, so it is passed, high pressure air is passed through the secondary air treatment, that is through FRL unit, that is filter, regulator, or and lubricator. So this is about basic structure of pneumatic systems and the working of basic structure of pneumatic systems. So from next class onwards, we'll study the individual components of this basic structure of pneumatic systems. As we have done it for hydraulic systems, in the same fashion we'll study each and every element which is present in the basic structure of pneumatic systems.